Greetings and salutations. During this presentation, we'll be looking at the Ottoman Empire. At the end of this video, you should be able to describe how the Ottomans dealt with different religions within their empire. You should also be able to discuss the impact of new European trade routes on the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans were a Turkish-speaking nomadic people who migrated into northwestern Asia Minor and southeastern Europe. The expanding Ottoman Empire soon came into conflict with Byzantium, the remnants of the Roman Empire, and in 1453 drove them from the capital city of Constantinople, which would later be renamed Istanbul. This period of expansion continued under the rule of Suleiman the Great. Suleiman soon ruled over the largest empire in Asia or Europe. If you look at the map provided, all of the areas in yellow represent the areas that were controlled by the Ottomans during the reign of Suleiman. Suleiman was so great that he became known as Suleiman the Magnificent. In addition to expanding the empire, Suleiman modernized the army and encouraged Turkish literature and the arts. The Ottomans under Suleiman divided their society into four classes. At the top were the men of the pen, who included educated people like scientists, lawyers, judges, and poets. Just beneath the educated segment of society were the men of the sword, or soldiers who protected Suleiman and defended the empire. After the soldiers were a class of individuals called the men of negotiation, which included merchants, tax collectors, and artisans. Finally, the bottom class were referred to as men as husbandry, and these were the farmers and herders who supplied the Ottomans and their empire with food. Most of the highest two classes were Muslim, but among the lower two classes, Christians and Jews were allowed to practice their religions as they saw fit. The Ottoman emperors, called sultans, were generally tolerant of other religions and even allowed Christians and Jews to form separate societies within the empire and run themselves so long as they submitted to the authority of the sultan. Helping the Ottomans to become such a dominant power was that all land-based European trade routes to Asia ran right through their lands. As you can see by the map provided, all of these routes leading into Asia went right through the lands that were controlled by the Ottomans. This led to them becoming one of the most impressive trade centers in the world, with European goods meeting Asian goods. This gave them quite a bit of influence. Unfortunately, as sea routes began to overtake land routes as the preferred method of trade, the Ottomans began to see their power diminish. The Ottomans were still able to thrive as a civilization until the 1700s, when European industry left the Ottomans and their society based on farming behind. The Ottoman Empire continued to exist, albeit in a less impressive form, until after World War I. Now it's time to check your understanding. First, how did the Ottomans deal with different religions and cultures within their empire? And second, how did changing European trade routes impact the Ottomans?